him on The Hills of Ice 2. The remake, of course, because he's not that old. Oh god, my dog. Vinny! You can lock him too.
After all that.
My worst nightmare!
Okay.
I love that he's like, I'm gonna find the noisiest toy you
What
have.
even is it? It sounds like a fucking... Yeah.
It's a water
What is
bottle.
that?
It's a toy that puts a water bottle inside of it.
Oh.
You know what? Fuck my life. Here's a duck. Have a duck.
Hey guys, welcome back to Scream Queen Stream. We're your hosts, Jess Cameron.
And Heather Dorff.
Y'all know Solomon. And we have some wonderful women with us today. Ladies, would you take a moment to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Layla.
I'm Jessica.
We also have a lot of dogs here today. I am host-sitting one, and Jessica brought Vinny. So if you hear noises, it's because they're all playing with Solomon's toys. And if you see Solomon looking stressed out, it's because he's learning how to share.
Not one of his strong suits, I'm sure.
He's learning how to share. We encourage this. Awesome. So today we're going to do a little interview and then play a fun little game. It'll be a really good time. So let's get started. Ladies, why don't you share with us your website that you've created to promote horror? Go ahead.
Well, Layla started this, so I'm going to let her talk.
Yes, we have a website to promote horror. It's called ScarePop.com. You should check it out. But yeah, it's basically just all things spooky, anything that's like spooky, like the spooky side of pop culture, basically. So scary TV shows, horror movies, and a little bit of like even sci-fi and fantasy thrown in the mix. Halloween stuff, escape rooms, all kinds of stuff that we do, that we cover. We love it all. So yeah,
Which is why the title is so fantastic.
Scare Pop. Little pop scare.
And where can we find it more? We can obviously go to scarepop.com.
Yes, and we're on all the social media, outlets. Instagram. We need Instagram followers desperately. I can't grow my Instagram following for some reason. I've been trying to grow it, and it's got like no one on there. So if you're on Instagram, please follow us, ScarePop.
We will link it down below.
And Twitter and Facebook.
Oh my god, I love Twitter. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Second to Solomon, obviously. Awesome. So let's start this off with some questions. Heather Dorff, you're first.
All right. So, what inspired you to start ScarePop?
Really, I've just always loved like spooky stuff, horror. I grew up. My dad was a big horror fan. He had Stephen King books around the house, so I grew up reading that kind of stuff. My mom was into the paranormal, so I've just been into it my whole life, really.
Right. Yeah, my mom also was into paranormal and true crime. Now I'm into paranormal and true crime.
Those are my two favorite things.
Right? Have you guys
Yeah.
ever heard of Sword and Scale?
Yeah.
The podcast? I've been listening to that nonstop. And is that disturbing though? But it's good. So check it out.
Entertaining, yeah.
ScarePop and Sword and Scale. Alright, Jess?
What is your favorite horror movie?
Oh.
Oh, God.
That
Laura.
is a tough one. I mean, I like Gremlins.
The Shining for me.
I don't know. This is so hard. Can you get a subgenre of horror?
It is hard.
I mean, Laura really loves Tim Curry movies, so.
I would say, there's this one B horror movie that I always kind of go to. It's called Castle Freak. Have you ever seen it?
Mhm.
No.
I think I made you watch it.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but it's so good. It's like a B movie. But I think it's from the early 90s. It's so
I
bad.
thought you were obsessed with Ginger Snaps.
Ginger Snaps is great too. I love
That's
Ginger
her
Snaps.
favorite movie.
I
That
like
she
Ginger
can't
Snaps.
think of right now.
That
By
one's
far.
good. I made you watch that one too.
Yes.
She was not a fan.
It was fine. It's okay. I get it.
Why
Just
did
not
you
as
love
obs-
it? I love
just
Ginger
not
Snaps.
as obsessed as I was. I was like, you have to see this movie. It's so good. And you were like, it was good.
Did you watch it as a teenager? I watched it as a teenager, and my theory on Ginger Snaps is if you watch it as a teenager, you have an unnatural love for it, and if you watch it as a grown-up, it doesn't hit the same notes as it does if you're really, really young.
I watched it for the first time when I was in college, so mentally, I guess I was still a teenager.
What about you?
What, Ginger Snaps?
Well, how old were you?
Oh, I mean, this was probably only 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
yeah, you're an adult.
So I was like, it's fine. She
Right.
made me watch it because, the girl in it is in Supernatural. So,
Right.
the one that's,
We got to
compulsive,
that
geeky.
We got to that episode, and I was like, you have to see this movie she did. It's so good.
Yeah. And I was like, it was fine.
I think though what happens too is certain movies when people are like, this is the best movie ever, and then like you build yourself up and then you watch it and it's like, oh, it's good, but it's the best movie ever. I don't know. I feel like it almost sets you up to fail because I've had that happen with numerous movies that everyone else loves. I'm just like, it's good, but I don't love it.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to hear anything when there is an actual good movie, and if there is,
bad.
I'll go on Friday because I'm like, because it's just going to keep building up. Like, Get Out, I was like, okay, everyone's talking about it. I think we went to a Thursday night screening because I was like, I don't want to hear anything else, and thankfully it was really good. It lived up to the hype.
Yeah, Get Out was great.
Yeah, Get Out was really good.
Awesome.
Your turn, Dorff.
All right. So, who is your favorite horror film director?
You know what? Honestly, I think I would go for Gore Verbinski, who hasn't done a ton of horror movies, but I mean, The Ring, just like the style of The Ring, was so good, and that made me a fan of him as a director, period.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I was like, I'll see anything he does, just because of that one movie.
What else has he done?
He did Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, A Cure for Wellness was his latest one, which is visually amazing.
I
thought,
really liked A Cure for Wellness.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I thought the acting was
but
really
I like
great.
gothic. I mean, it was really gorgeous.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's very weird.
Beautiful.
But
super weird.
It's beautiful. Absolutely.
Who is your favorite director and why?
My favorite director is Wes Craven. I grew up on Scream, so that film absolutely changed the horror genre. And, I was even lucky enough to work with him on Hills of Ice 2, the remake, not the old one. But he was awesome. He was just a producer on that one, but working with him was so inspiring that it really made me enjoy being in this community of horror fans, and I learned a lot from him, even just having him be a producer during those times. So I would say Wes Craven.
Nice. And it's always nice to be able to work with someone you sort of idolize and did a movie that you really like, who also ends up being cool.
Yeah,
and
thankfully.
relatable. Yeah, it sucks when your childhood hero is a douchebag.
Yeah.
And it happens, man. It does.
Oh yeah, they say never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Because 8 times out of 10, I would say.
It destroys it. It just disappoints you.
Absolutely.
Alright.
I like Stanley Kubrick. I mean, The Shining is my favorite horror movie. And so in terms of like a favorite horror director, I would say Stanley Kubrick. I mean, he's brilliant. Beautiful shots. Everything he does is sort of spooky and dark, regardless of whether it's, directly horror or not. And yeah, just a brilliant man. So
Cool. You're stranded on an island. What is the one item you bring with you?
Just one?
One.
Oh, God.
You can give me a top 3 if you really have to.
Pizza.
Endless
supply of
be
pizza
dropped in.
forever.
And this is not allowed. You're allowed 3 actual physical items.
Okay.
3 physical
3 or
items.
what? You said 1.
Fine, we'll do 3.
Oh god.
Let's do 3 physical items. Think survival, guys.
yeah, well, I used to work on like a survival show, so I know what you need. You need like one of those magnifying glasses. No,
I was like,
you know, to make fire. No,
You need that
like,
fish
You
net.
need a flint and like a fish
that
net.
that net that you can sleep, and it's your net when you sleep, and then you can actually fish when it's time to fish. I saw that one on that show.
survival show.
Yeah. A machete.
Multi-purpose.
You always need the machete and the fire starter thing.
Yeah.
Any items?
Yeah.
A
anything you want.
motorboat, so I can leave.
Oh,
Obviously.
she's thinking.
You guys are thinking too small. Said anything.
True.
And then I only need one.
Satellite
I need 3.
phone,
Yeah.
motorboat, and fucking...
Champagne.
Laura
Yeah.
just likes to get motorboated, so that's why it was like the top thing in her head.
I like where my
Because look at those cans, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, right. All of us are. Okay. Alright, so my turn then? I feel like this. Okay. So what actor or actress is your favorite, honestly, inspires you, and why?
It's gonna take me a minute.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
My favorite actress of all time is Marilyn Monroe. But if we're doing like people that are still alive, I would say Sandra Bullock, because she's not afraid to be herself. I really admire her and I really love her for that. She's my favorite.
Right, which I think is kind of like almost why she won an Oscar. It wasn't so much for that particular role, but just because everyone fucking loves her.
Yeah,
and Meryl Streep was like, you know what, give it to her. Because, I mean, truthfully, I love Sandra Bullock.
I feel like no
Yeah,
one ever
she's
says,
great.
I don't need to win an Oscar.
I mean, Meryl Streep fucking says that. She
I
wins
feel like-
one fucking every year
She
for like
gets
20
nominated
years.
every year.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
literally think in order for any other female to win an Oscar, Meryl Streep has to actually allow it. I think like it goes to the committee and she decides, yeah, I'll
Like
give this
she's
one
the
to
real
him.
head of the
I
committee.
love that you believe that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
bet. But yeah, Sandra Bullock's awesome.
I'm still thinking.
I'll throw one out. Jessica Chastain. She's pretty cool.
She is, and
Right?
she's, relatively newer. I feel like she kind of came out of nowhere. Like, compared to Sandra Bullock, who, like,
First-
Speed.
Yeah, the first movie I ever saw her in was The Help.
I forgot she was even in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
You're right. But
It's
I was...
funny because the first time I saw that movie, I actually thought that was Bryce Dallas Howard playing two
They look
characters.
so much
I swear to
alike,
God, I thought it
right?
was the same person. When I found out it was different, I was like, oh, that's like a completely different person.
Yeah.
I agree, they kind of do.
They
They're
look
similar
alike.
looking, for sure. It's the gingers,
Yeah.
right? Or I don't even
Well,
think
they'll
it's
steal
just
your soul.
Is Jessica Chastain even a
I think
ginger
so.
though? Is she
I think
blonde?
she is. No, I think she's.
No, I think she
I think
really
she
is.
is
She's a
natural.
strawberry.
Is she
Yeah.
okay? Because she goes every which way with her hair color, so you never know. Because Emma Stone or whatever is blonde.
Yeah, she's naturally
Yeah.
blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She's
Okay.
great. I loved Emma Stone.
Mhm.
She's good.
I just wish you'd eat a fucking hamburger. Seriously, she got too skinny. Like the girl from what's the blue movie? She's blonde, super pretty.
Michelle
plays-
Williams.
No,
Michelle Williams.
no, she's not that bad. She's not super skinny looking. Is she? God, they all are, honestly. But no. God, I fucking Kate something. She was in the Surfer movie, and then she was also
Kate
Bosworth.
Bosworth.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's another one. I want to throw hamburgers at her ass. It's like, bitch, you 90 pounds. It ain't healthy.
Side note: don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
If you think Kate Bosworth
If you
is
want,
a hamburger.
or if you want to see Dorff throw hamburgers at one of these ladies, because we could probably make it happen. We could
Oh, God.
probably take a bag of hamburgers to a red carpet
Oh,
event
God.
and have that happen.
And have her
If
get
you wanna start-
arrested. Episode
Well,
96.
It's a small price to pay to get some likes. Don't forget,
True.
the
Oh,
like
God.
button is immediately below. Hit like.
It's so hard because I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's like
It's
picking
really hard.
these women, and I'm like,
You can be a man, too.
no, I know, but I'm like, mine is like, I like Chris Pratt because I
Okay,
love that
yeah,
he
yeah,
went
he's
from
awesome.
awesomely funny fat guy to this like hot chiseled funny guy.
Yeah.
To be fair, I used to like not know if I liked Chris Pratt or not, and believe it or not, what sold me on Chris Pratt isn't even what is that movie? He's in Parks and Recreation. It isn't even Parks and
It's a TV
Recreation.
It's a TV show.
No,
Yeah, that's
no.
what I
But
love.
what sold me on him was his goddamn bloopers from the show.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this motherfucker is funny.
He's
He like
so
improvs
funny.
like crazy, and he makes everyone laugh when he
Yes.
goes
Yeah.
off book, and he just says the most random shit.
Yeah,
But
and I
he's
think
great.
he was only supposed to be on a certain amount of episodes
they
for that.
kept him.
Yeah, they kept him the whole time. He makes that show. He is so freaking funny.
Right.
And I love that Anna Faris like loved him during that phase. You know?
Yeah, and she's been with him, and honestly, like, it's one of those things where they've loved each other forever. It wasn't about, I think for both of them, it wasn't about looks, it was about how much,
Oh yeah,
They
she
got on.
adored him.
Yeah.
She because sad but funny story is Laura and I ran into Anna Faris when they were dating.
Oh,
her
yeah.
and Chris.
Totally forgot about that.
So this was like house bunny days, and we're like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god, Anna, we love you. You're so amazing." And she's like, "Oh my god, I love you." So we're like, "Can we get a picture with you?" She's like, "Absolutely." We're like, "Hey, you, can you take a picture of us?" And it's Chris Pratt, but we didn't know anything at the time.
He'd never been in. This was like
Awkward.
2008.
It
Yeah.
was a long
It was a
time.
long time
It
ago.
was
so Chris Pratt
took
took
our picture with us,
Yeah.
but I'm like, Chris Pratt took this picture. And like years later, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, that's what we call missed
True.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
But they were really nice. He's like, totally, yeah, sure, you know. And we're like, damn. So now
that
I'm
was
just like,
that was like pre Parks and Rec. That was like before he was in anything.
So what we're saying is he can guard the
No.
galaxy, he can tame
I'm-
dinosaurs, he can run parks and recreation, and he can take photos.
it
Right.
was
True.
it was the
It was
premiere for
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that
Friday the
premiere
13th
party.
premiere.
They were there. And
I feel like you probably should not have admitted that you were at the Friday the 13th remake.
Jared Padalecki. I don't care
Jared
what you
Padalecki
say.
was there.
I'm sorry.
Like-
That's why we went.
Did you watch the movie?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
did.
went to the premiere.
Alrighty, let's just move on past that point.
we're Supernatural fans. We like Jared Padalecki.
Fuck yeah,
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Gilmore
Like,
Girls.
you can
I
say
go
whatever
farther
you
back.
want.
I go back to Gilmore Girls, bitches. I like to be
Oh,
that. And then
Oh, yeah.
Supernatural, and he's hot.
Oh
And-
yeah,
and
this
also-
past Comic-Con, me and Layla ran into him. First off, past
Did
Comic-Con,
you run into him or did you stalk him?
They're like,
no,
what
we
is
ran
this?
into him.
I
But
would go
it was
with
the hottest Comic-Con I've ever been to. I mean, and all the parties are on the roof, and we're just sweating
I thought you meant
profusely.
hot because there's a bunch of hot people. Oh no,
Oh,
you
no,
can
it was
actually-
like-
It's Comic-Con. Have you been there? There's
It
a
was
lack of hot people.
hot.
It's like
And
a
I
hot
was
temperature,
like-
but it's not like hot as in sexy.
No, it
Yeah.
was hot. And I told Layla, I was like, there's Jared Padalecki. We should take a picture with him. And she's like, okay, let's do it. He is sweating profusely.
Did you
but
lick it off? You licked
Oh, dude, he was like, sorry, I'm
What happened?
sweating all
I was
over
like,
you. We're like,
Sweat
oh,
on
it's
me.
all good, man.
Yeah,
We can
please
insert
do.
this photo too.
Yeah, we'll insert this photo.
Jared Padalecki.
It was like,
Okay.
thanks, man. And we're just like, yes, covered in Jared sweat. I don't care. My husband doesn't care either. He's fine with it.
Awesome. So you guys are still stranded on that island that I mentioned earlier, but you can bring one Scream Queen stream host. Who do you bring?
Oh. Boy.
Ouch.
And why?
No, that's mean.
That's a stupid question. For
It's
one,
hilarious.
I actually used to live in the country, so I have some skills.
Ooh.
You can't walk
I
without
lived in a
6-inch
country.
stilettos. And P.S. You
I
walk
can
like
milk
a
a
snail.
cow.
If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, I don't
we're
get in the
on
way
a
because
desert
it's just
island.
gonna fall.
If
to
we're
get
on
me
a
back.
desert
We actually
island,
have
there's
an
no
answer
rush.
for this.
Oh, no. What?
Okay. Okay.
And as long as I've known you, and I feel bad for saying this, but I would pick Heather because I don't know how to cook, and I would starve to death if I didn't pick her.
True!
Solid point.
I love you, but I'm sorry.
I love you too. I would just drink your champagne and we'd starve to death. But you
Yeah,
have a
we would-
motorboat.
You know what? It's
You
just
brought a
me and you.
motorboat, so we would still live.
Oh, and I also brought champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then in that case, I still pick her.
Then you pick Jess.
Because we'll just go off on a
If you
motorboat
have
and
your
drink champagne.
items to give
Yeah.
away.
Same island, same items. All right. Sorry.
This is such, Jess, these are more like rapid fire questions. You're
Yeah.
asking these stupidest questions.
No, they're hilarious. Carry on. You still have to answer.
Okay.
Good.
I mean, the only reason why I picked Jessica is because she's got some badonkadonk, and I can cut some of it off and eat it
Oh
when
my
I get
God.
hungry, just in case I can't find anything else.
You can
And she'd still be fine.
Cannibalism.
But same with me too. We could share, cut each other's off. It's fine.
We would share real
But
badonkadonk.
Wow.
I did not see that going in. Although I appreciate that.
yeah, I mean, at least we could survive it that
I
way.
appreciate you're like, no, we share.
Yeah.
Each other's asses.
Yeah.
Brings a whole new concept.
Ooh.
Note
Okay.
to self,
Sorry,
I
that's
want to
dumb.
get stranded on the island with Laura. Not with Jessica. I'm going to take my chances swimming. I don't know how far I can swim, but I'll find out.
All right. All right, your turn.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't really follow up that answer. I'm just gonna plead the fifth on this.
Plead the fifth. All right. Such a silly question. Okay. Who in your life do you feel has inspired you the most? And why?
In your
Or
whole life?
In your whole life, who has inspired you the most? Whether it be a parent, fucking a superhero, it can be a fictional, real character, but who has inspired you the most?
Okay, this will take a second for me.
Yeah.
Inspired and not supported, because that's different. Inspiration and support are two different things.
Yeah.
A parent can support you and not inspire you.
I am inspired by J.K. Rowling. Yeah, because she has a super cool story of like how she kind of just was like, you know, at the end of her rope, she had no money, she had like been in a divorce, and she had this baby, and she was literally like living on nothing, and like came up and like created this whole world and became this like bazillionaire, and just using her own creativity. So that's super inspiring to me.
Well,
And then even though she
Yeah.
made it so
And
big,
she-
she gives most of her money away to charity.
Yeah,
which is
Right.
great.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
she's not even like in it for the money. She's just a genuinely good person.
believe it or not,
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves does the same thing.
Yep,
He
really?
That's what I heard.
75%, but even then, let's keep in mind, people.
75% of $200 million is
or
still...
way more
But I
than
heard
that.
also,
I
like,
wish we
gave
had.
his closest friends $1 million each
He's
or something.
he seriously just gives away most of his money.
If
Yeah,
I ever
most
make
of
Keanu
his money.
Reeves money, I will give you guys each $1 million.
I mean, that's the thing. There becomes excess, right? I think that's the thing about J.K. Rowling. She still lives very well. She still flies in private jets and lives a great life and can support her kids. And there's so much money.
Yeah.
It's so much money. It's like, dude,
What
you
do you
can
do with it?
absolutely give it away and help other people.
Apparently, she's like the only person that's ever like fell off the Forbes list of billionaires because she gives
Because she
so
gives
much away.
so much,
Yeah,
But
so
I-
she's very, like, socially aware and all of that.
Yeah.
And it was, like, what was it, like, International Women's Day, you know,
Yeah.
last month or something. And we actually went to Harry Potter World at Universal.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is, like, a whole world created by one woman.
Yeah.
It was, like, super cool.
Her
In
imagination.
her
know?
darkest hour.
Yeah.
In the moment when she thought, this is it. And those are
Yeah.
always the most inspirational
Yeah.
people. Who take the worst situation and spin it and make the best of it. I mean, that's what you have to do in order to move forward. So she's absolutely inspirational. And if you want to get a good laugh, really follow her Twitter because God, she is hilarious and
She's
smart,
so
and she goes
crafty.
after stupid asses one after another, and it's
Yeah.
always super witty. So yeah, follow her. She's great.
Don't forget to follow ScarePop.com.
ScarePop first, then JK.
Well, because they'll give you updates on everyone. JK is only JK. So
Yeah.
and just kidding, JK. Every time I say that, I think of that. But yeah. All right, who else?
I'm trying to think of someone fun or.
No, think of like who really. It doesn't have to be someone fun.
I know.
I think
It could
JK.
be Solomon. I'm
To
just
be
saying.
fair, I feel like JK was way left field. I would have never.
Well,
That's a good answer.
Not necessarily piggybacking off of that, but I would say, I mean, especially
Get
when
your
I was
own
a
answer.
teenager. I am. Especially when I was a teenager, I was really, really into Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
More just like, you know, the facade of her, but the more I learned about her, the more I really started to like love and respect her because she was the same way. She came from nothing. She grew up in the foster system.
Right.
She had a lot of people that took advantage of her. A lot of people that treated her like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she turned herself into the most famous actress, the most famous person that's ever lived.
Right.
And she took all of that stuff that happened to her and made something great out of it. And I think that's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, I think so too. I think with Marilyn Monroe, though, I think the most depressing thing is how the industry kind of destroyed her.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but that's
Totally.
also like the
In
nature
that
of the
era.
industry in the 50s when
Yeah.
the studios owned you as a
Judy
person.
Garland.
Yeah.
You know, like people assume
like
that she was a drug addict. She wasn't so much a drug addict as the studio system made her into a drug addict. And if you guys are not aware, educate yourself and do some research on the 50s, 40s, and 60s of studio system. They literally owned you and your time, and they bought people for like year increments. So they'd have you for 3, 5, 6 years. And in that time period, they could make you do as many movies as they wanted. So they would literally make you do drugs so you would be up for 22 hours. So you could do interviews and on set and and then they'd give you downers. So they would get you addicted to these drugs. And then when they were done with you at the end of the term, whatever it was, they would toss you aside, which is why there's so many of those celebrities from that time period that like literally fell off the radar almost instantaneously. It's because once the studio abused and used you for X amount of years, they had no use for you and you were done.
You know what I find funny is I wonder how much different the industry is now compared to that, because all I can think is Jennifer Lawrence's like interview talking about like how when the studio owns you, they own you, they sign you to a 6-picture deal and you have to do whatever the fuck they say, and then you have no free time, you have to go film, press, film, press, and even the other director that hires her all the time was like, it'd be awesome to work with Jennifer Lawrence if, you know, the studio didn't own her and her whole life.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I mean, and you know, I do think there's been some give or take of that, but at the end of the day, I still think there's a lot of weird things, and yeah, you sign contracts with these people and they do kind of have to tell you what to do and you have to fight them otherwise. So it's unfortunate, but it's necessary. I guess it's just the evil of the industry.
I mean, I feel like it probably isn't as bad now, because at least you kind of already know. Like, you know what to look out for, so you can make sure that there are things in your contract to begin with.
Right.
That say, like, if you put in your contract that you get, like, 2 weeks off in between movie shoots, then you get 2 weeks off between movie shoots.
But right, but
have
then
to
there's
know
an
ahead of
amendment
time.
to that. Like, is what Jennifer Lawrence said. Being a female in the industry, you're always too scared to ask for the same amount of money as your male counterpart, to ask for the same amount of amenities as your male counterpart, because then you're seen as a bitch, you're seen as a diva, yet males do whatever they want. I want back end, I want this, I want that, I want this, they'll ask for all these things. I mean, this was proven between the Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, like, between their films, like, how different, and Jennifer Lawrence said, like, I should have stood up for myself, but I was scared to, because women are looked at so weird.
Yeah.
Still.
At least, like, now things are finally starting to change.
I think social media is an amazing thing for that. As many evils as the internet does bring, there's a lot of good to it, too. A lot of enlightenment, a lot of, like, information that's to the masses that we just simply didn't have before, like in the 50s. We didn't know Judy Garland was being bashed every day and forced to take a bunch of drugs, and now it's like you can't really get away with that as much. So there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Back to you.
I mean, mine isn't an actor or an actress, so this might not be, like, interesting, but it's just my parents. I think they're super inspiring. I mean, they did everything they could to make sure that I had a good life. Like, my dad came over here with $200 in his pocket. He basically came from nothing, and he built a whole business in the 80s. So, like, in the 80s, my dad basically, like, when Flashdance came out, he saw that, like, everyone liked that over-the-shoulder sweatshirt, right? So he would mass produce it and sell it for, like, $10, $15. Right. We bought a house with that money.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want an
he made the, like, big culotte pants
Hello.
that you saw back in the 80s and early 90s. Yeah, the, like, He used to make clothes in downtown, back when downtown was super sketchy, like,
I feel like it's still
scary.
super sketchy.
Oh, it was worse. But because my dad was in the industry with everybody, like, it was fine to go down there. But, like, I mean, basically what he did was reproduce anything that was super trendy and sell it for the cheap.
So a
then.
lot of what people currently do as well.
Yeah.
Like how
But back then,
basically, he was
no one was
starting
doing
at
that.
before
Yeah, no one was doing it back then. And what he did is, like, he would go to Nordstrom's or whatever, some department store, and buy, like, a Chanel shirt. He would take it back to his shop, and then he would try to perfect it. And what he would do is switch the tags on the shirt or the blouse and return it. And he said if he could return it, he knew he did a good job, and that meant he could sell it. But even though I know that's, like, really bad.
If you bought a designer shirt at Nordstrom's in the 80s and you
It
realize
might
it's not
It might not
real,
be real.
her dad will refund your money.
You know, that's what we did back in the day. And, like, my parents it was all about a good work ethic, doing whatever it took to, like, just have this good life in LA, because LA even back then was tough, you know?
It's tough. It's always been tough.
I know.
There's people mass exodus right now because it's that tough. No, I think there's something to be said about having parents who are not, you know, who not only care about you, but instill, like, actual values.
Right.
Like, believe it or not, that's lacking.
Yeah.
Especially in the 70s and 80s era where everyone was
I feel like everyone believes that
stoned.
at this point.
Yeah.
What?
That we're lacking values.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Work ethic, it's a real thing. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said. I'm right with you. My most inspirational people are absolutely my parents. Like, they're the only reason why I can continue putting one foot in front of the other even when I'm hitting crazy obstacles, because I saw what they did and how they turned their life around, and, you know, and I think there's just something to be said of it. Being a parent is hands down the hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
It
I don't
really
see
is.
how they did it back in the day. You're like when our parents
I
are like
don't even
22 having us 23. Can you imagine today?
I can't. I still no. I mean, I could cook and I have a good job and all that shit, but it's like fuck that kid, like so hard.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't think it's not really. I know we think like 22 and stuff. It's not about age. It's always hard.
Yeah.
You can have it all figured out. You can have the perfect job and this and that. It doesn't matter. I mean, raising a child is terrifying.
I'll tell you what, I struggle to raise Solomon every day.
Jess, she fucking texts me at 4 a.m. Solomon's acting weird. What should I do? I'm like, he's a dog.
Yeah,
figure
it's
it out.
fine.
He
It's
thinks
fine.
he's human. Don't say the DOG word. It's offensive to him.
Oh, God.
I'm
It
right there.
marginalizes him.
But I'm right there with you. I've had panic attacks about my dog. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
A child? Oh, God. Human?
Yeah.
That I have
It's
to
like
raise?
a full life that you're responsible for.
Yes! A whole life.
Terrifying.
And and there's just so many ways it can go wrong. So if you raise logical kids, you're a superhero, dude.
Side note, I still want like an actual Flashdance sweatshirt.
Yes.
Please,
They're all sold out.
Yes,
All you have to do is
yes.
go to Kmart, cut off
I
the
don't care.
top.
I want your dad to hook us up, yo. Don't they make like popscare.com? Sure. ScarePop.com. ScarePop.
Not yet.
We should make that happen. I feel like you
should.
have the connections to see that through.
Okay.
Flashdance style.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for checking out Scream Queen Stream. We hope you loved it as much as we do.
If you want to see more of our videos, check out our YouTube page. And while you're there, how about you subscribe? You want to see more? Just tweet us. Find us on Facebook. Join in on the fun.
And most importantly, if you really want to join us on this crazy ride, check out our Patreon page and become a patron for amazing, awesome perks that we give out monthly.
As well as early access to all of our videos.
Free giveaways.
And a whole lot more fun shit.
So check it out.
We'll see you there.
Stay bloody.
You stole my tagline.
I did.
You're a horrible friend.